LaurenNIHON again. Hi! So, welcome to Question Corner 22! Yay! So, Question Corner 22 is from MrThrive2, and he asked me, what did you expect teaching in Japan to be like before you started, and how is it different? So, that's like a really interesting question, but I don't know, like I had so much childcare experience prior to like coming to teach here. Like I was a camp counselor for like every summer for like 7 years before that, and I did a lot of babysitting, I did aftercare for a little while. So I mean, I had like, you know, really extensive childcare experience. So I know kind of what it was like to manage children and have to be in charge of them and talk to them and, you know, discipline them. So like I knew stuff like that. And so I had like probably a better idea than a lot of people who come here without any childcare experience or just want to live here. And this is like the best job that you can get to live here. It is true, it is. If you don't know, if you're not fluent in Japanese, this is the best job that you can get, really. Yeah, so I probably had a better idea than a lot of people. And when I came to study abroad 2 years ago, I did help out for a day, actually 2 days, at a little kindergarten, a Japanese kindergarten here. So I kind of knew what that would be like, kind of. But anyway, I wrote down like 5 things that I remember thinking, and that are kind of different. So the first one is, I kind of imagined that like all the students would be like really quiet and studious, and you know, because like that's what a lot of like the Asian students are in America, you know, like their parents are doctors or you know, scientists, or like really intelligent, and their children are really intelligent, and you know, they study all the time and they're very smart, tend to be good at math. Obviously this is like completely a stereotype, but basically before I came, I kind of expected that Japanese schools would be run kind of that way. And I mean, that's definitely not just my impression. Like a lot of people I know, even just like, you know, visiting home for a little while, everyone asks me this, like, is that what it's like? And I'm like, no! And yeah, the answer is no. I mean, they're just like American kids, really. They're just not American. You know, they're crazy and they run around and they like to, you know, boys like to play fight in the hallways and steal other kids' shoes, and like they're just like every other kid. And for the most part, I mean, it depends on where you're teaching. Where I'm teaching now, it's kind of like a suburb-ish area of Kobe, so like a lot of, I guess it's a little bit more affluent than, like, definitely more affluent than where I was in Osaka Prefecture before. So here there are more students that are studious than there were in my last school, but it's still pretty much the same. I mean, kids are kids are kids are kids. They really are. The second thing that I thought was that it would be easy to talk to JTEs, or like the Japanese teachers of English, because I met several students that weren't even planning on being English teachers. I know one that was planning on being an English teacher, and I actually worked with him coincidentally at my last school, but I met them when they studied abroad at my school, and they were like really great at English, like really good. So I thought, you know, well, obviously other people are going to be the same way, right? So no, they're really not, for the most part. I mean, in the middle schools that I work at 2, and I worked at a middle school in Osaka Prefecture before, so I don't know, there's always like one JTE that's like better than all the other ones, and like you can actually have a normal conversation with them. But for the most part though, like, I don't know, like they're not really, either they don't like try to expose themselves and try to learn English continuously or try to use it. So they're really kind of bad. They're really bad at English, honestly, for the most part. They're really bad. And I don't know, I mean, I've talked to some of them, and like a couple of them it was more like, I'm like, so why do you like English? And they're like, well, the college I applied to is like really good for like English teaching, so that's what I decided to do. Like, not like Not because they're interested in English or languages or speaking with people from other cultures. No, just because that was what was available. So, yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, you'll find different experiences in different places, but, yeah, for the most part, they're not really that great. And 3, I expected, you know, kind of like along the same lines as like having like quiet studious students, that I expected that there would be a clear like discipline ladder, like in the US, like if you are being unruly, like your teacher can, you know, give you a warning or 2 or 3, and then maybe you can go to the principal's office, and then the principal would yell at you, and then if you do something bad again, like maybe your parents will be called, or maybe they'll get a detention, or I don't know, like there's like steps that you can take, like an established order, which is like different by the school. This is like in America, but in Japan it's really different, really different. Like students have like a right, like a legal right to their classroom, so like there's only certain things that like I'm not allowed to discipline at all, but there's only certain things that like a Japanese teacher can actually do in terms of discipline in the classroom. So you know, for the most part, it's basically just kind of guilting them all into being better, but that doesn't really work with all kids. Like it works with, you know, kids that are, you know, inherently good kids and, you know, are people pleasers, but it doesn't really work for the kids that just don't have respect for authority. So yeah, that's definitely different from what I expected. 4, I also expected that I would be able to use Japanese in the classroom sometimes, and that's really not the case. Like before, like when in my last year of college, I took a class on like ESL in college. I didn't get like a certificate, but it was just like one class, like one semester class. And in that class we learned that it's best to teach a language using some of their native language, because you don't want to say like your native language is bad, you know what I mean? Like you want, you know, so you want to like support the students and help them and make sure that they understand what you're trying to teach them. But unfortunately, the English learning system in Japan is basically you don't use any Japanese at all. I did sometimes in my last school in Osaka, because they weren't really, I don't know, the students were adorable and cute, but there were a lot of discipline problems, so it was a lot easier to say like be quiet, you know, in Japanese than, you know, just putting up with the issues. And also it was a different situation. It was team teaching, so the whole class itself was supposed to be Japanese and English, so you know, it was mostly supposed to be me teaching in English and the Japanese teacher teaching in Japanese, but sometimes it was kind of interchangeable. And the kids really got a kick out of the fact that I understood Japanese, and actually my speaking Japanese outside of class with the students, like especially with like the kids with discipline issues, like made them respect me more, and they were actually behaving a lot better in class. So that was very helpful for me then, but now that it's not team teaching and I'm teaching by myself, I'm not supposed to use any Japanese at all. So yeah. And the last one was basically that I didn't really know, because my first contract was team teaching, as I said just a little bit ago, but I didn't know what on earth team teaching was. Like, what is that? You know, like I had no idea what to expect with that. Like, was I gonna be mostly teaching and they're gonna be there, or you know what I mean? Like I had no idea, and really you never really have any idea. That's basically what I found out, because like, you know, some teachers are gonna be like, okay, you teach for the first 15 minutes and then you walk around the classroom and help make sure kids understand while I teach, or some teachers are like, you teach most of the time and then I'll just step in and help them take notes, or yeah, it's a completely different. Every teacher has different expectations for what they want you to do during team teaching, so yeah, there's not really like an answer for that. But yeah, so I hope you found that informative. I don't know if you did. And I'm sorry I like ramble on like crazy. I'll probably have to cut out a lot of like random ramblings that I said in this video. So thanks for watching. So if you guys have any questions for the question corner, please put them in the comments below or in the sticky thread about the question corner on the JVlog forum, in my sub forum, and I'll put a link to that below. So yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Goodbye. Have a nice weekend.